What's up everyone, it's Paul and lafon bringing you another Overwatch League recap video. The Boston Uprising and the Toronto Defiant. Both teams have been failing to avoid the bottom of the leaderboard, but where there's a will, there's a way.
A team in trouble. The Defiant have a massive advantage against the Uprising. The hard carry of Surefour has weakened any sight of victory for the dwindling Boston roster. Though they have Jerry on the hit scan to contest the Defiant carry, hope is fading for him and the rest of the Boston Uprising as they face off against the Defiant.
Haven't even unlocked the point yet!
It's gonna be a draw! This game is gonna end in a draw on Control!
Oh no,
These two teams!
Beast is locked into the pit, into the well, but he managed to work his way back up. He used the grappling hook to find his way back to society, but it's too little too late as the Boston Uprising are the ones to come out on top after what felt like 2 years of my...
But Surefour still got this EMP.
Surefour still has the EMP, he's holding on to it. He doesn't really want to use it, but now he does. Unleashes it, it catches all 6 members of the Boston Uprising, and they fall for a second. Then they almost just lost this initial round off the back of that one, and this is really shaping up to be a series you don't want to miss, ladies and gentlemen. Color Hex with the boop, the supercharger laid down, but Jerry with the 2 kills. Jerry might have just turned this one for them, and I don't believe what I'm seeing. Logix just puts the Hellfire shotgun straight to the face and takes him out. Jerry.
Yep. So as soon as that cooldown is down, Toronto are going to look to engage hard.
Pushing them back, and as you can see, the wall goes down, but Boston are the ones who are taking the initiative. They're just running into them. They're getting the freezes off, and Jerry has the damage. 2 kills for him. Maybe hunting for a 1 more. Indeed, he gets it. Beast falls, and Boston, this time around, have unlocked the point in a rather rapid fashion. Back. Pulled onto the point, didn't have his fortified. Surefour misses the turret, don't worry, happens to the best of us, lad. Coalescence now by Myungbong, comes out, and it's going to be just cleaning down the opposition. Toronto cannot stand against it. Jerry's able to pump in the necessary damage to clean up. Look at him, the aggression, the cojones, the minerals of the man. Yeah, this is exactly what this comp is looking to achieve. Now Toronto are trying to take control, positioning here, defensive setups, but Fusion with these power drivers is perfect because it just sends everyone on Toronto up in the air and the rest of the team can find the picks. Jerry putting on a masterclass once more. Let's take a look at his POV right now. And it might just look like mayhem, but I can assure you we aren't looking at Florida. This is the one and only Jerry. Percentage when you make those big changes across the board. We'll see if it pays off though, as the Boston Uprising are playing aggressively. Surefour forced to use his EMP, and his team are definitely going to be following up off the back of it. He managed to get it onto quite a number of the players from Boston, forcing them to stagger. Brucean has to go off the edge, and the Boston Uprising are going to have to rethink. Those kind of pickups you cannot give up, and now Surefour, he has to use the EMP here. They have to turn this fight into their favor, but he's waiting for the sound barrier. Toronto going to be using their own sound barrier, but it doesn't really connect onto too many targets. Still, the kills coming in now. Jerry into the back line. The death bosom is huge! Jerry with 2 kills, Calyx and Beast falling. Boston Uprising are doing it, and Surefour's EMP doesn't get the value he was looking for. It was too little, too late, and Boston... Seen teams barely able to push it. We've seen some very rapid times from Boston themselves, actually, and they're going to be going for an aggressive forward hold here, setting it up. They get a lot of damage out into Fusion. They take him out immediately, so not going to be trying to get the full hold here, but if the kills get traded into Boston, they could hold this one. Nevix trying to go for the kill here. The accretion comes out, but blocked from Color Hex's ice block, but it still seems like Toronto are the ones who are winning this team fight out. They're getting the superior damage output, just slowly chipping away at them, and they are able to finally break out of their spawn here.
And Surefour and the Lucio.
Yeah, Surefour has the EMP, but there we go. He chooses to unleash it onto a lot of the members, and that sets up Logix for the big one. Nice little 4 kills for him. Lay it on top of a halt. Logix, add that one to your frag movie. Gonna be very happy.
Yeah, and Surefour will be nowhere to be seen.
Boston to try and contest this one. Speed boosting in, the ice wall comes up early. Anyone able to touch? Nope, they actually missed the point completely. I believe they got halted back there. Who's to blame? Well, we'll find out in the replay viewer. But for now, Toronto are happily capping that one, and Boston are going to be a bit annoyed, I think. Aggression, the Gravitic Flux is used, and I think it only called onto Beast, but Beast just used Fortify, and the ultimate's just negated. Nevix, I don't think he catched anyone in his Gravitic Flux, but it doesn't matter anyway, because his team are able to just clean up the rest of these players. Doesn't matter if you're whiffing ultimates if you win the team fight, I guess, but here we have it. Toronto still pushing in with 2 minutes on the clock. Ready and waiting. Ultimate's used. Colorhex unleashes the blizzard out. Shuffle going to be answering with his own little EMP. They're finding the pickoffs because of it, but it's going to be Beast falling very low. How is Beast not dead here? Heal back up. No one able to touch the point. A 2-minute 4-second time here on Dorado. Nothing to be scoffed at in the slightest. That is a very strong finish.
Very, very.
Anything done. Bruson now peppering in the damage of the orbs. And I don't think they really have to expend any more ultimates here. They can just clean up the stragglers, clean up the remnants. Much like a janitor on duty in a supermarket late at night. And,
yeah, very much. That's the vibes that I get here from the Boston Uprising.
Yep.
Janitorial duties. Expect boots, halts to try and stop Colorhex getting max value out of Blizzard. Fortify and they escape. Everybody apart from Nevix.
Nevix, yeah, he did end up using his bomb, which pushed Fusions out of position. So Toronto able to get a kill. Jerry! Which pushed Fusions out of position. So Toronto able to get a kill.
Well, and you can see them just rotating away and dropping them to the high ground. Another good halt from Beast.
Trying to get that D-Mech onto Nevix so that he gets a free blizzard. And there we go. Kellex lets it go. See them trying to get the damage in. Logic's wonderful Death Blossom. It finds a couple of kills. Bruson might be next. Indeed he is. Karif the one to find those pickoffs, and Boston left with just 40 seconds remaining. Supercharger, it's out in no man's land. It's going to mean Toronto forced to use that sound barrier. Nobody's really bringing it down, but Nevix sends in the self-destruct, and oh my goodness, it puts in work. Boston just hanging onto a thread, but a thread is not enough to hold you. You're dangling over a cliff. Toronto Defiant. The overtime burns down, and they are going to be the winners. You're lacking your Moira, you're lacking the heals. You have to play aggressive if you're Toronto. You have to try and get a pick off, but Nevix has been demacked as well, and Toronto Defiant aren't really getting anything done. But I can respect the effort. You knew what they knew what they had to do then as soon as they lost Karib. But it has cracked this one open for Boston to take advantage and tap up this first point. And Jerry can start building up this EMP as well for the next fight.
Now, I don't know whether I missed.
Perfectly hidden, comes back out with the sound barrier. And that's going to negate a lot of what the EMP was supposed to do. Colorhex tries to even it out, and indeed, he does just that. Barrage, plenty of damage done, but he can follow it up with the help of his team. 3 kills for him. He's going to look to make it 4, and that's exactly what it does. And once again, we are learning to count with Brennan. I think in terms of their spawn here, they can't just keep dribbling out players one at a time. Colorhex going to be using his barrage, but gets taken out by the default Nevix, who wasn't even in a mech, might I add. Got demeched by it, but anybody here able to touch? They do stop the cart for just a short moment. Bruce is laying down a bit of damage, and Boston Uprising with a very nice time. Have ults of their own, coming in with the Coalescence. The Molten Core is putting in so much consistent burning damage, and that allows them to just clean up these softened up targets. Logix is just collecting up the kills, adding them to his on top of it, lays down the Blizzard. No one's in the vicinity though, everyone just kind of evades it, but Logix was caught out of position. He was going for a little play in the back line, gets taken out in the end. This is a great opportunity now for Boston to work with, but Nevix answers back! A massive bomb from him, with the help of Beast, set up I believe with the halt. He does get 2 kills, which is going to slow down the war machine that is the Boston
to engage with though.
Supercharger, once more, Boston wants to go, sound barrier going to be used. Jerry leading the charge, but gets taken down almost immediately, and it looks like this is all Toronto. Even with Bruce and using the Gravitic Flux, it's not quite enough, and as the seconds start to tick down, Toronto, I think you're going to be quite pleased that the map isn't over yet.
Good work from the Toronto Defiant there. There was 3 minutes plus on the time bank for the Boston Uprising as they entered point C. And Toronto managed to be able to peel away from this. EMP is what Toronto are all about.
Well, Blizzard comes out. Is there anyone who's going to be caught in it? Looks like it's only Beast, but he uses the Fortify, and Nevix answers back. The hacks onto Colorhex at the right moment means he couldn't dodge it with his ice block like he was intending. Nevix getting maximum value out of the Supercharger thanks to his team once again. And these bombs have been critical throughout this series, and they've allowed Toronto to just open up this point and take it for their own.
Yep.
I think he spotted him there, just detected him in the nick of time. Opportunities now to see, as you can look at the engagement by Boston. EMP now comes out, but it only connects onto a few. I think Bruce was the only one caught up by that. Taken out though, still a winnable fight here for Boston, but it is very scrappy between these teams. Beast, opportunity to lay down a supercharger, opts not to. I think he was afraid he might have lost it if he tried to place it into that fight. So just taking the L, taking the loss. Still,
Strange.
Toronto moving forward.
Strange investment of the Coalescence there from Myeonbong in a
Few dreaded moments on this bridge. We've seen some fantastic environmental plays. The Beast is the one who wants to take the initiative. The supercharger's down from both of these teams, but Jerry's the first one to fall. Def Blossom committed into the back line. Doesn't do too much, but it takes out the necessary target. The supercharger and the turret missing from this fight now. And Toronto are able to get a very clean capture now, 3 minutes 30. But to just try and waddle this cart now, it has to be a defensive May war. Shuffle going for the hacks. He gets one onto Fusions. Fusions caught out into no man's land. And that is exactly what Toronto wanted. They take them out. The EMP finally used, and it cleanses the soundbar off of all of them. Toronto Defiant moments away, and they cap up the capture card. 2 pickoffs. Nice and easy for them. Jerry, don't choke. Okay. No. He just opts to not even take the fight against Garib. And instead, Boston going to be focusing on the war on the point. Do just that. Going to be cleaning it up quite nicely. Jerry, do you get the right to spam crouch after missing those shots? One off to the side. Not really coming out on top here, but the Death Blossom now getting forced out, moved away by Kellex. And that is going to mean that Toronto Defiant are the ones who come out swinging. Toronto, few players just about spawning. Beast, he's managed to grapple himself onto that statue, but brought down. Some wonderful tracking from the side of Boston. Slowly the capture point percentage is going to be going up. Coalescence though from Toronto, don't want to count them out just yet, but they have the tools to maybe try and turn this one. But the way they're being focused down, it's not going to be happening. And the Boston Uprising are able to capture that one with almost 3 effectively. And now they're going to be coming out with their own ultimates. Halo still holding onto his ultimate, might I remind you all. Holt comes
Surefour's
out.
been caught though.
Yep, and Surefour not really ended up using it, but I don't think he needs to use it. But now might be a good time, but too little,
this
too
is
late.
so good. That was beautiful play by Halo. I want to point this out. He had sound barrier and he's scared to use it, right? He can't use it.
Initiation comes in from Boston. Now the EMP from Surefour is going to connect onto 5. Toronto able to collect up a kill, able to find a couple actually. And with that being said, all they have to do is clean up the remaining members of Boston, and they will have unlocked this first point. But, you know, I want to stress as well, just on top of the point. Alamolten Core laid down onto the floor. Coalescence on top from Myeonbong. Goes for it, but Logic's in the back line! Along with Nevix, concatenated on top. It's too much damage! You can't deal with it. And Toronto Defiant setting onto Nevix. Nice little boop as well, just going to be separating him. Hopefully should be able to get this kill onto Nevix. Meanwhile, the point though, Toronto were playing pick and split almost. Just trying to get a bit of capture point. They do get a tick, but it seems like Boston are the ones in complete control here. The hammer kill, the hammer kill, the hammer kill! Doesn't quite do it to him, but might try and get it here. There you go! Logix is down.
There we go, we
Colohex
love
is
to see
happy.
it.
We can call this round. Logic's going in with the shotguns, finds
Halo
a kill
dies.
onto Halo. The soundbar getting enough damage for them. The defense matrix, not enough mitigation. Logic's with 2 kills. Only a few remain. Jerry tries to clean it up. Bruce and the last man left, along with the turret. It will not be enough. He will be taken out, and Toronto, in the nick of time, able to capture up this kickoff, even if it's not a player. Removing him from the fight. Alex using the overcharge, or the overload, I should say. To be able to put in a bit of damage here, but Nevix answering back with the self-destruct. Logic's as well.
They're getting picks.
Toronto are getting the picks here. This could be their fight to win. Surefour's just got to try and hit a couple of these icicles off. He's going for the freeze. The ice will blocks them apart. Completely separates them from the rest of the team here. And Toronto stay alive. They have an opening. They have an into this team fight. They're getting the damage in. Fusions. Force will come to the point. Uses the fortify to push back. It's only on a sliver of HP and will eventually go down. The D-Mech as well onto Bruce. Only a few members of Boston remaining. The Wrecking Ball switch over from Beast just so we can collapse onto the point. Toronto have got a tick. Can they keep this going even further? Someone needs to touch. Someone needs to do something, but nobody can. Toronto Defiant with this 4-point mistake. 1 slip up, and you give. No Blizzard available. Jerry has the Death Blossom. He's got to go huge. We see the soundbar being used. We see the Blizzard being used. Only one opportunity now for Boston to try and make something work with him, but they're all falling. They're dropping down. The overtime is burning Bruce and D-Mech. and I think this might be it. Colohex falling was the nail in the coffin. Despite the fact that Logic's tried to gift them a bit more overtime, it's not going to be enough, and the Toronto Defiant are going to be the winners of this series.
To stay up to date with all things Overwatch League, make sure to check out one of our other recap videos.